afternoon, everybody. So yeah, I'm Louisa Clarke. I'm Managing Director of Operations from Churchill Group. So I've been in the industry about 20 years, I guess. Prior to that, I was in the Royal Air Force. I served for 10 years. So left the Royal Air Force, kind of did that usual thing of falling into FM, like most of us do, between us change. So I joined Churchill in 2011 originally as a contracts manager for their first transport contract, and I guess over the last 12 years I've worked my way up. I think I've done every job going actually. So I was their first female operational director, their first first managing director outside the owners, and so today I look after a large portfolio nationally. I've got a great team, so that's what I do at the moment.
The Churchill Group is a reference within the FM industry. I think we all know that, the ones that work at the FM industry. I can quote, it is a Sunday Times Grant Thornton Top Track 250 company and one of the largest independently owned support service providers in UK. Won several awards in 2022 alone. What's the secret for this success, Louisa?
Okay, so when I joined the business in 2011, it was relatively a small business, and over the last 12 years we have absolutely exponentially grown today to what we are. And I think the most important, the first reason that we've been so successful is because we've got exceptional founders. They are really talented people who've really embraced FM and the journey that we've all been on. We've got a great team. I can't tell you how amazing the team are, and actually I really look at it, and maybe I'm biased, but I think I've got the best team in the industry. So strong leadership, I think it's really important to have strong leadership, because we're there to lead our teams, aren't we? So that is another thing. A great team ethos. We've got a good team ethos within our business, and of course we are a caring business as well, so we'll talk a little bit about values later, but I guess the way I feel about our business is that we don't just talk about our values, we live our values, and I think that's been incredibly important around our journey.
And so my question is, how do you collaborate and how you make sure that having a strong culture as well, a strong work culture, everyone is on the same page?
Yeah, so as I touched on it, values are really important. And I think really even from the very beginning, Churchill was living and breathing its values. But a few years ago, we sat down and we actually put those values down on paper, and it was really easy for us to do because we were already, we did our mission, our vision, and our values. But actually, it was so simple because we've been doing it, and we've been living and breathing it all of the time. But that's really important, and so. When we put those down, it was just important to then, make sure that we were spreading that word around our values and making sure that if you're a new person in the business, you know what our values are, and if we're living and breathing these things every day. So we've done all that, and I think even though our teams are, they're very entrepreneurial, they always have that underpinned ethos, from those values there.
So what's the role of technology in enabling all of that communication that requires collaborating with internal and external teams?
Yeah, so we were quite brave around digitisation, I think. So about 3 years ago we embarked on a digitisation programme which we call Borders. We're about 3 years into that 5-year programme, and I think the reason we were brave is because we decided not to buy off the shelf, we decided to develop that programme ourselves. So it's been an interesting journey, and it's had its ups and downs without a doubt, because when you're bringing that digitisation in, you've got to collaborate with your teams to make sure that works, but you're still obviously operating the other side of it as well, so it has been quite tricky. But of course we brought it in because bringing that digitisation in has of course improved communication hugely. And I think when I look at the pandemic period, which we don't all like to talk about anymore, but actually we adopted that digitisation programme at the right time because we were very easily able to communicate with our teams out on the ground very, very quickly. So it improved communication, it improved collaboration, and we were easily able to do things much quicker. So I'm glad we've embarked on it, and I know when we are another couple of years into it as well, it's going to, it will be even more amazing than it is today, but already it has made a difference.
To our audience, actually, Louisa is an outstanding professional. I'm quoting myself. She's the first female operational director for the business, as she was referring. She was won several awards, such as Business Leader of the Year or the British Ex-Forces in Business Awards 2022. She is responsible for a multi-million-pound national portfolio, and I could continue as I was saying in the beginning as well. So I wanted to get a bit more personal and ask Louisa, how did your background, specifically in the military forces, contributed to it?
Yes, so I think this is all about self-belief, if I'm honest. So I've always had the self-belief and the determination that no matter what life throws at you, you can actually achieve what you want. But when I go back to the early days, I joined the RAF when I was 18, and it's because I enjoy it. Well, I was an air cadet first, and I actually, when I was in the air cadets, I liked that family environment and I liked that team ethos that I saw. So I joined up, and so yeah, that really shaped me in the beginning. Of course, being in the military, you learn all those skills that have paired me well for the future. And I was really successful in the Air Force. I travelled the world, and in 2004 I received a commendation in the New Year's Honours List. But sadly, in my 10th year I got postnatal depression, so that led to my departure, which was a bit sad, but when I look back at it. But I left, and then I had to reinvent myself again. And so when I go back to the beginning, it is about self-belief, determination, and having that drive to, no matter what people throw at you or what life throws at you, you can actually achieve what you want to. So for me, it's about having that whole belief about what you can do about yourself, within yourself.
Great message. I ask this because Louisa is not only an ex-military, but also because she's a firm believer that facility management can be a great career for veterans. And she has many projects within this area. I think you will disclose one today even. Can you tell us a bit more about why you believe this is a great career option for them?
Yes, so FM is a fabulous career of choice for veterans because actually it's not dissimilar to the job. And I know there are a couple of veterans in the room, but it isn't that similar. We might call things by different names, but there is every type of role in FM. It's exactly the same as there is in the military, and veterans bring skills to the industry, well, so many phenomenal skills. They are operationally astute, they're adaptable, they have leadership skills, and so for me, it works both ways. I spend time educating employers on why they should look at veterans and bring them into their workplace, and I spend time educating veterans on why they should look at FM as a career of choice. And I think between the two things we can hopefully attract more people into the industry, because they are absolutely brilliant at it when they're here. I do sit on the Veterans Advisory Board, so that's another really good part to. So I get to support veterans as well in other ways. But yeah, if you are, if you're here and you haven't signed the Armed Forces Covenant, for example, come and speak to me, because I think you should go and sign that covenant and pledge your. To try and bring veterans into your workplace, and I'm happy to educate and support on that.
To end this conversation also with another note of inspiration, we have been talking a lot about technology, the fact that we have systems everywhere today, but also that customers are more demanding, companies are increasingly people-focused, sustainability is a priority, collaborating more and better is also part of the secret of the success. So there are a lot of topics on our plate. After all of this, how do you see the future of FM?
It's It's a tricky one, isn't it? So we've seen so much change over the last few years, and I think obviously we all appreciate that the pandemic drove a lot of that change, but it's not over, is it? In terms of, you know, the digitisation piece is changing the way we do things every day. So I think for me, it's around embracing the technology and embracing the change. If you're the kind of business that thinks you can stay the way you are today and still be successful in 10 years' time, forget it, it's not happening. You need to embrace that change and that technology and find what works for you. I think we have to be ready to adapt. And certainly we can all see the way that the use of workspace is changing, and the fact that we've got the hybrid working going on as well. So from me in the soft side of things, are my contracts going to be the same in the future? Is procurement going to be the same in the future? Is digitisation and room usage going to change? So I have to be ready to adapt what I do today and change it up as it changes, as the world changes, and as digitisation and as technology increases and becomes more reliable. And so I think we all have to be mindful that that is the future.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.